Welcome to the Art Classroom Grade 7s, and I certainly hope that this final year of primary school proves to be a fun and a successful year for you, and that you grow not only as a scholar but also as an artist. In the art room this year, we're going to be doing things slightly differently. The reason being is that you are entering a new phase of education. Your grade 7 to grade 9 years are known as your senior phase of education. We're going to be honing our skills of observational drawing in the following project. So follow along in the series, and I certainly hope that you enjoy this term in the art classroom. Chuck Close is an artist celebrated for his expertise in creating hyper-realistic portraits. In this project, we will take a close look at Chuck Close's process of drawing portraits. We will learn about the process he uses of transferring an image to a grid and how he draws his portraits. We'll also see some examples of Close's work and learn about the inspiration behind his portraits. We're going to be working in the medium of graphite pencils for this project. These are graphite pencils over here, and they range in this set from 2H to 12B. Your H pencils are your lighter pencils, and your B pencils will be your darker pencils. We're also going to be using a putty eraser and artist's fixative to avoid our drawing from being smudged. If you wish, you can purchase your own set of graphite pencils. You will be using them in high school, although I will provide you with a set in class that you can use. Remember, when you ask your parents to please exercise your manners and use the word please. Before we start our project, we need to practice creating various value scales. Value is an element of art and can roughly be translated into shading. We're going to be using an H, an HB, a 2B, and a 10B pencil for this exercise. However, I do encourage you to practice at home and create values with the rest of the pencils in your set. Using the worksheet provided in class, we're going to create 4 different values with each pencil. With your H pencil, start shading the block furthest to the right. Exert the most pressure in this block. This is going to be known as our black block. Experiment using an overhand grip at the back of the pencil to shade larger areas, and a tripod grip right at the bottom of the pencil to shade smaller areas. We then move on to the lightest shades of our value scale. In the first block, we are going to leave this block white. This is known as our highlight. The second block, we're going to start exerting slight pressure in the second block to create a slightly darker value. This is known as our low light. In blocks 3 and 4, we're going to create our midtones. Our midtones are the values that occur between our low light and our black. To achieve this, we're going to use sequentially harder pressure in each block. Another way to create your values is by using layering in block 3 and 4. Layering is when we add another layer of graphite over the first or second layer of graphite in order to achieve the desired value. We then move on to our HB pencil, and we're going to repeat the process. In the furthest right block, we're going to start with our black. We exert the most pressure. See if you can distinguish the difference between an H and an HB pencil. In the first block, we're going to leave that white to create our highlight. The second block, we're going to just touch the paper with slight pressure. Pretend that you are using a feather in the second block. And in the third and fourth block, you're going to create our midtones by using sequentially harder pressure. Repeat the process using your 2B and your 10B pencils. You should see the difference between the various grades of graphite pencils. Take your time creating your value scales, as we're going to be gluing the value scales to our portfolios and using them as reference when we start doing our drawings. So once we have finished our value sheet, we are going to fix it using Fixative. Fixative is a spray that stops your drawing from smudging. Ironically enough, hairspray also does the same job. So if you don't have Fixative at hand, you're more than welcome to use hairspray. When you're using Fixative, try not to use too much of it. So you're going to use the Fixative around about 10 centimeters from your page, and all you need is a light spray to fix it. And that's all you're going to need to fix your drawing. Well, that certainly was a learning experience creating various values with our graphite pencils. I think the key to creating and getting our values correct with our graphite pencils is certainly practice. So don't just use the resource sheet that I've given you as the sole source of all the values that you can create with your graphite pencils. Practice using them and practice creating values with your graphite pencil. In the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at how we're going to be selecting our reference picture for our project going forward.